All right, now let me show you on the whiteboard how to identify a hoax, how to create a good hoax, and then I'm going to predict the summer hoax. Right? There's always a summer hoax for Trump. So we'll start with how to create a good hoax. Right? If it was your job to do a dirty trick and create a Trump hoax, what criteria would you use? I would use first the Tucker rule, Tucker Carlson. You remember the Tucker rule? That whatever the Democrats are doing themselves, they will blame you of. So rule number one, the hoax has to be something that Democrats are doing that's sketchy, that they're going to accuse the other side of doing. So it has to have that quality, accusing you of what they're doing. It needs to be unverifiable. The alternative to that is a video that they can clip. Right? So there's two kinds of main hoaxes they use against Trump. One is the anonymous source, and the other is the anonymous source goes along with, I've seen something that you haven't seen. Oh yeah, I was in the skiff, and I saw something secret that you can't see, but oh, it's bad. Oh, it's bad, until you see it and it's not. So the unverifiable sources are good, because all summer long, the pundits can say, well, we don't know what's true, but if the reports are true, that he urinated on a hooker's bed, ho, 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 if they're true. And so all summer long, when it's slow news, you could have if it's true stories. So that's the other requirement. Now, as you know, a good hoax would play to people's biases. What do I mean by that? Well, remember when Trump was running the first time, and even when he was president, the claim against him was he was a big old racist. So the best kind of hoax would be a hoax that shows him looking racist. That's what the Fine People hoax was. So the Fine People hoax was to play to the bias. Oh, you already think he thinks this way, so we'll create a hoax by leaving out some of the video that makes him look like he was praising neo-Nazis. Of course he wasn't. If there's anybody here who still thinks that really happened, you need to do your homework. Right? There was no, he never called any neo-Nazis fine people in the real world. He said the opposite. The video was edited to make it, to reverse it. Now, likewise, do you remember when the pandemic hit and the big complaint about Trump was? What was the biggest complaint about Trump when the pandemic hit? Well, he's not a science guy, right? What's he know about science? So you need a hoax that plays to the bias that Trump doesn't know enough about science. So they did the drinking bleach hoax. Oh yeah, he recommended drinking bleach, which of course never happened. Nor did he recommend ingesting a household cleaner of any kind. That never happened. He was talking about light therapy. That was a thing. It was edited to take out the light part, and so people thought he was talking about drinking bleach. So whatever the new hoax will be, it's going to be Tucker rule, it's going to be unverifiable, or it's a video that they edit misleadingly. Could be either one. It plays to the bias, so you're already, the people who don't like Trump would already be primed to accept it, because, that's what we thought. That is exactly what we thought he was like. And here's the best one. It should be designed to remove a Trump advantage. What would be an example of that? Well, I would say that a Trump advantage would be his ability to work with Putin, wouldn't you say? Trump's ability to get along with Putin would be a Trump advantage. But you can take that away by saying that he's actually colluding with Russia. So you don't just say it didn't happen. You don't just say, oh, that's not a good idea that he could get along with Putin. You go right at it and you say, oh, it's not only a bad idea, but he's colluding with Russia. He's an actual, treasonous president. Right? So, given all these things, can you predict what the hoax will be this summer? You should, because it already started. Trump is trying to help Iran with secret documents that would be bad for Israel. Who's the Prime Minister of Israel right now? Who's the Prime Minister of Israel? Benjamin Netanyahu. Who gets along with Benjamin Netanyahu better than any president? Trump. Trump and Netanyahu are classic buddies. So if you're the Democrats, you want to put some distance between Trump and Netanyahu, but also Trump and Israel. You'd like Jewish voters in the United States to say, "Whoa, that Trump guy, he's kind of anti-Israel." But Trump is the most pro-Israel president of all time. And the only way they can take that away from him is with a hoax. So they're going to have to come up with a hoax that a document you can't see, but somebody did. Oh yeah, if it's what we think it is, if those boxes, we don't know for sure, but if those boxes have an Iranian attack document, and if he took that, it was to give it to Iran because he's not really on Israel's side. What do you think? And already we're seeing it, right? If I had made this up, just a few months ago, you would have said, that's crazy. Come on, that's just crazy. Yeah, and he also had the success with the Abraham Accords. So, but it's already happening. This is literally in the news already, that there was some Iranian attack document that's really the one that's sensitive in these Mar-a-Lago boxes. Oh, sure, maybe the other stuff was just souvenirs, but the Iranian attack document that you've never seen and it can't be confirmed, and it's not even in the SCIF, so anybody can look at it and say what they saw. Oh, but what if it exists? What if? Ladies and gentlemen, I give you the summer Trump hoax. Now, I hope you've also learned how to make a hoax. I'm giving the DNC ideas. No, I'm not. You don't think they thought of this? This is the classic Trump hoax. And they always do it in the summer. Ideally, they want to do it in the summer because there's nothing else to talk about. So people would just talk about this all summer long. You have to admit, this is good hoax spotting. You've seen all the hoaxes, you know how they do it, but now I've pulled it together so you can see all the elements of it. And by the way, you might see a lot more of this. I mean, this might not be the one you see. You probably see lots of them. And that is why you follow me, because you won't see that on CNN or MSNBC. You're welcome.